Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Weather with Jonathan here, and I'm back with another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the potential for a polar vortex to completely break loose and cause much below average temperatures for much of the U.S., the potential for a upper Midwest snowstorm, and the potential for a severe weather outbreak in the central and the southern plains. I'm going to be going over all this in your forecast. So starting off with what's happening around the U.S., you can see we have those freeze warnings and freeze watches down here in the southeast. There's winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories up there in the Great Lakes region. Then there's winter storm watches and actually some winter storm warnings down in the Big Bend area of Texas and the mountains of California / the Sierras. Now let's start talking about our atmospheric river. So it's really going to start raining. I know you guys are having some real nice weather today up and down the California coastline and the West Coast. Um, Temperatures could be reaching 65 degrees in places like Portland, Oregon, Seattle, 65 degrees, maybe even some areas in the central part of California in this circle, upwards of 75 degrees. So that is going to be very warm. But tomorrow, I can't remember. Well, it's tomorrow. You can see it's going to start raining. And this is throughout April 3rd. But we still have that atmospheric river that's going to just keep slamming this portion of the West Coast. And actually, California is going to start sort of getting a little less rain. And our focus is going to start shifting to the Northwest now. It's really going to start raining in the Northwest now, so that's where we definitely got to be aware of that rainfall. And that's going to continue throughout much of March and maybe even through early April. So now let's start talking about our severe weather. So if we take a look at our dew points for our upcoming storm, you can see they're going to be rising. That's our first round. That could lead to probably not a big threat of severe thunderstorms, probably a marginal threat of severe thunderstorms across this area of the Ozarks and the Mississippi River Valley. So now, the northern Mississippi River Valley. So then you can see that real warm air bubble comes up, and you can see if I pull this out, it'll grow in size a little. But yeah, so then you can see it's going to start crashing with that dry line / cold front. And it's going to quickly move out of the way. And that's going to just happen throughout much of March, especially with severe thunderstorms. Because if we take a look at our dew points, I mean, that's pretty modest dew points. That's dew points about mid to upper 60s, I'd say. So you guys are going to be getting some severe weather. Probably currently my main concern about this is damaging winds, large hail, and definitely some tornadoes. And currently, with that, the risk I will show you later in this video, right around there. I think we could have a marginal risk extending back through this area because those dew points are going to actually start extending more to the east and go more to here. So we need to pay attention to that. So now let's take a look at our CAPE because we do have modest amount of CAPE, but not the most I've ever seen. This is our main day here. Main CAPE around 1,000 joules, so it's going to support thunderstorm development, but not too much. But the day after that, the CAPE will rise pretty decent to modest CAPE around 1,500 joules to 2,000 joules maybe. So we need to watch out for that. I just want to show you one upcoming storm because its fantasy land is insane. Now I just want to show you guys this is complete. This is going to be complete all fantasy land, probably. This is very likely not going to end up happening. Because believe me, this is all the way at long range forecast. So this is all the way at the end of the model. So now let's take a look at our wind shear, because we do have enough wind shear present for tornadoes with this. So you can see that's our first round. Definitely some good wind shear. Only going to be a marginal threat to slight threat. We do not currently have a risk warranted for that area. Then that's our wind shear for that time. That is when we have that slight risk. And I'll show you the risk right after I show you this. But winds could get upwards of 50 knots in the atmosphere, and that's going to be present for tornadoes. And it could really cause some major problems. So now let's take a look at our day 6 probabilistic convective outlook. You can see we have that slight risk for portions there of Oklahoma and northern Texas, mainly southern central Oklahoma. This is currently because of all hazards. The Storm Prediction Center did note that. They said hail, wind, and tornadoes appear all likely in this. So we do need to pay attention to this. And like I said in my last video, I think we would get a risk. So if you guys live in that circle, even if you're not in the yellow, in the black circle, you guys should probably be aware, because that's probably going to cause some problems. And already for day 6, that is significant, and we could potentially see an upgrade to an enhanced risk later in the future, but we do not want to talk about the worst yet, because it is currently only a slight risk, which is good. And if this ends up being an enhanced risk, I 100% will cover it. I promise you, I will cover this. So now let's just take a look at our temperatures, and you can see they're going to be pretty warm actually in the West Coast now. They're going to start really warming up, and that's actually because of the high pressure ridge being just really far north and causing all that warm air to just seep into this area. And that's where we could have temperatures up to potentially, maybe, if it actually ends up happening, right? We could actually get temperatures up to 70 degrees in some places, which seems like it is happening. But in the upper Midwest, we're going to be having a completely different problem. You can see a lot of cold air building up, and that's going to come right down. And that's why we have those freeze warnings and freeze watches in effect. So that's going to be really causing those problems. And if I pull this out, this is just going to continue throughout much of March. And what is happening is we're going to have that cold air just sitting right here. And what's going to try to happen is we're going to have that warm air squeeze right through. We're going to have that cold air sitting here, and any storm that comes through is going to cause severe weather in this area. So if you live in that area, you should be prepared for a severe weather season. And that's what's going to be happening with those trough patterns. That's going to continue throughout much of March, so we definitely have to be aware of this. Then we have this big warm up coming, and it could definitely lead to temperatures above average for much of the U.S. But guess what? Like I said, we have that pattern, and it's going to lead to that cold air just coming down again. And if I show you this right now, you guys are going to be probably pretty sad, because look, you can see we have that cold front across much of the central U.S., and that's going to be ranging all the way from New Mexico up to about Iowa. So that cold air is going to be coming right back down when we have that low pressure system here and the warm front right here, and we got to prepare for this. But if this does happen, you should prepare for this if it does actually happen the way it's showing, because you can see we have those temperatures rising all the way into about Iowa, into about 70 to possibly 80 degrees. But I wouldn't really worry about this right now because this is very far out. Anything 200 plus hours out is probably going to be Fantasyland, and this is 384 hours out, so this is Fantasyland. So now let's take a look at our CPC outlooks. So you can see you have a lot of that much colder air in the west coast back here, and then much of that warmer air down in the southeast up through the northeast, actually. And that is what's really causing that ridge and that severe weather. And that where I think in this warm bubble right here, we have the potential for more severe weather is going to be in this type of area. Now, this is only 6 to 10 day out temperatures. Now, if I show you an 8 to 14 day temperature outlooks, that warmer um, shifts more to the southeast and way to the east coast, and that cold weather is gonna come in, and it's probably gonna definitely cause that battle zone between severe weather right here, because you can see that that near average temperatures is what's going to support those storms to definitely start popping off in this area. So we need to watch out for that. I just want to show you our precipitation anomaly. So it's going to be much above average for much of the U.S. for 6 to 10 day. Now let's look at 8 to 14 day, because it starts getting a little drier, but it's still going to be much above average precipitation for much of this portion of the U.S. And that's going to be because of our atmospheric river on the west coast, and that going right through the upper Midwest and onto the east coast. And that's because we have those warmer temperatures and moisture causing that rain. So now let's just take a look at a model loop for much of the month of March before I end this video. And also, guys, I'm trying to improve the quality of my videos. So I hope you guys can just know that. And yeah, so also thank you for all my supporters out there. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. It is completely free. So why shouldn't you, right? So this is definitely a storm that I'm concerned about right there. And that's still 200 hours out, so doesn't seem 100% likely, but it could happen. And then let's also take a look at our snowfall totals, because we could see a little bit of snow and potentially a lot of snow across much of the U.S. through April 3rd, and especially in Denver, Colorado, because you guys have a lot of snow in March and April. So if you guys did not know that, then you do now. So thank you guys for coming and watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And thank you for all my supporters out there, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Goodbye.